Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Abhilash, your UPSC Civil Service Examination Mentor. I hope I am you're able to. Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Abhilash, your UPSC Civil Service Examination Mentor. I hope I am you're able to. Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Abhilash, your UPSC Civil Service Examination Mentor. I hope I am prepared for the session. You're able to. Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Abhilash. And today's session we will talk about the examination mentor. The people who have just hope I am prepared for the session. We are able to. Hi, good evening, everybody. I'm Abhilash. And today's session we will congratulate them because the 50% of war is won only when you take a decision and take an action around it. So if you have taken a decision, registered for the session, that is the action. And the first of action is here to know more about, I have clarity of information about this examination, have clarity of information about various attempts as per your own, whatever is your profile, and understand rather than just learning from, toppers, what toppers speak or what other people experience about their uh, exam experience. Doing it from your own self is the first and foremost thing because it is your years and your challenges. They are all different. Everybody has a unique story of success and unique story of failure. But the common path is, or the common thing over here is, even if it's unique, it's the matter of dedication, matter of consistency. I didn't use the word motivation. I used the word consistency. Dedication and consistency, discipline, that decides your next future line of action than the motivation. While definitely there would be multiple factors which would have made you think that this is the best career I can choose, and that can come from any of these exterior factor that by watching a movie or by watching a what do you call sure, YouTube series or by knowing somebody in person or by seeing by the example or by parents because of parents giving knowledge or your elders giving knowledge or maybe just uh, social prestige. There can be multiple way of somebody to trigger towards preparing for this. Most of the time, or many of the times, it is about the government job element. But to consider civil service examination as just any of the government job will be a very different, it will be a very bad assumption. The reason being that here the public service or the responsibilities taken by you as a public servant is at the topmost tier and the topmost tier. And it is somehow considered that you bear the burden of the country on your shoulders. And especially when it comes to delivering governance. And you know that in a democracy, when we decide what is the way we are going to conduct our nation democracy, the second come is the important part comes is constitution and the various rights, and the most critical part comes is governing all of them, governance. We will understand how the structure of things happen, how the country is run, is a part of the process of learning and preparation for this examination. So this does not just remain a duty bound of a citizen to know about India and how India runs, but also for a person who want to join that system or call themselves as a career bureau. So if that is the kind of thing which you are thinking, that if I prepare, if I give my 100% now, मैं एक ऐसी तपस्या करूं because for the next 40 years, once you join the service, till the time you retire, you will be always having that career bureaucrat as your career. Because this is not an academic job. This is not an academic exam जिसके लिए you are prepared. This is a job for the job, for a central government job. And that means that choosing a career and a career path. And it provides a lot of platform. Many times we consider it as nation building platform. serving the nation at the most important and critical layer. All this can be a good motivation factor or a factor for you to take a decision that I will prepare for this exam. And that's the reason why you are watching a video like this, or in the YouTube, or you have registered for a session like this. As a part of the process, I always say, because informations are there anywhere. You put it in information on the website, information is there in ChatGPT, information is there in, you do a Google search and you get a lot of information. What is missing is interaction. You might be having a question today, and you might be, yes, definitely there are tools to also interact today with Autobots, which I definitely do not deny. But still, a human factor will help you to understand maybe a better way than what a bot responds. So that's the reason why my sessions are called, every week I come at 7 p.m. Thursday, and I call a hashtag Ask Abhilash. I am Abhilash, and definitely let me correct, I am not the same Abhilash on which the YouTube series is. We just coincidentally share the name, but my story is beyond, before even uh, this series was shot or written. So, but yes, there is a coincidence of name. So, secondly, what I would want to say, that I ask Abhilas, anything which you have in your mind, in your doubt, like as a doubt, most of the time we hesitate. We feel that what others will think if I ask something like this. How silly. So, you can just ask me a question. I don't, I keep it as anonymous as possible, because I have this experience that, many students do not come up when it comes to interaction. But honestly, for this particular examination, if you don't open up you don't change your stance and, do not interact more, you will not be able to think beyond, or not be able to widen your perspective. It is not just about reading something from book, or, writing something. It is also to broaden your perspective, and that comes with engaging your brain, you know, challenging conversation. बोलना पड़ेगा खुद ही. Anyways, I keep it anonymous. There is nothing to, declare names. Definitely, I tell people who have registered from across the country. So I have just, what I've done is, put all the queries in front of you what I've received for this particular session before this last week in registration. Most of them almost have been categorized in the same thing, that I have no idea how to start. These are beginners who will give their first attempt in 2028, 2029, and maybe ahead. And somebody said I have completed coaching and how should I prepare now? Somebody said I need the best roadmap. Somebody said what is the complete plan for preparation? I'm confused about where to start and how to start. How should I approach geography optional? I'm already self-studying. What should I do differently? Is this course free, and what is the class? So these are certain questions which has come as a part of today's discussion. Today, the kind of profiles which I see who have registered in the session are people who are beginners. They really do not know, they might be in the college today, and they have just taken a call that how many tayari karna hai iske. And then, okay, I'm speaking in English, and basically, अगर आपको हिंदी में कुछ ऐसा, कुछ इंग्लिश में आपको समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, and you want me to speak in Hindi, I can speak. And जहाँ तक तैयारी की बात है, you are aware that the exam, UPSC Civil Service exam, the question paper is in only two mediums, English medium and Hindi medium. My program of GS Foundation is in both English, caters to both English and Hindi medium. Okay, because it is self-study, so you go by your own medium. But then there are other add-on programs like answer evaluations, essay writing, and things like that, which I take additionally on English medium, because I have been versed in English medium. So I try to take on that. So that is, and the whole part is in the self-study is to stay motivated, keep your learning high, write more, understand that whether you're able to express things better. This is common, right? Irrespective of medium, wherever your strength lies. Okay. The prelims has the challenge of English and Hindi medium. Only there are no other language. I have received multiple queries that I am from Kannada medium, I am from Tamil medium, I am from Malayalam medium, and which language they want to prepare. See, while I know you are preparing for your state exams and all, and that is in the medium of your state language. But when it comes to UPSC, the prelims are in English and Hindi. And when it comes to mains, you can write in your own language. That is in any of the 22 official languages. And when it comes to interview, again, you can choose to speak in your own language. These are the choices. Okay. But when it comes to my self-study preparation, what is my limited ways? It is English medium majorly and Hindi medium is mostly translation. When it comes to making you understand, I can speak couple of languages. I mean, obviously Hindi and English and Odia, my mother tongue, and then Marathi, then Telugu, then Tamil, Malayalam, and I do understand multiple languages. But what I want to say is those are only for making you understand some subjective parts, but not for at the level of writing the exam or like. So hence, I will keep my communication in mostly English and wherever possible in Hindi in case you're not understanding or not getting. But even my English is not a British English; it is as Indian as possible. And the only thing is maybe when I can speak little slower, sometimes due to because we are non-professionals, it takes time to come to the pace in which you cannot speak the way Dr. Shashi Tharoor speaks and things like that. But as a mentor and as a faculty of UPSC, I will try my best that language-wise I'm able to convey my or express myself to make you understand whatever you are able to have it very clear. So today the people who have registered come from these three areas, and I told you self-study aspirants who are like they have NCRT, they have their notes, but are unable to system themselves. आज क्या पढ़ना है, what do I study today, and they see something happening in that today. Like it's very. I mean, yesterday I woke up to a very sad news of the Nepal flood, the flash flood in Nepal, and it was very tragic. And my heart goes out for all the people who are stuck in that. And it is a natural disaster, and maybe I would say yes, man-made responsible disaster. But it was very very heartening to see the various uh, footage that was shared, and my heart goes out that I hope we are able to help as soon as possible to them and you know. Help in this natural disaster crisis. And it's really, waking up to a news like this is very, uh, it feels very bad. And I mean, you feel more helpless at how strong the nature is. But yes, I saw a few footages, and firstly, I thought those are all AI generated or something. Somebody, today it's very difficult to differentiate. But to all my brothers and sisters in Nepal and their families, my support, and I feel as whatever possible, India will definitely extend their hand, and I'm sure I've heard also many things have started, but definitely news like this uh, questions our uh, purpose of life and humanity, and definitely we have to stand together in such kind of disaster and show the solidarity. But yes, the news happened, and then the topic which comes is what is the reason? This is a current affair, and what is the reason? Then causes as a public servant for you to be aware that क्या हुआ है? Why did that happen? So it was a flash flood, yes, but what was the reason? In Himalayan region, it is definitely common, but in this particular Nepal, which happened in the North Nepal, China, Tibet border, uh, it was a glacial had a glacial origin, a glacial collapse. Glacier of Himalaya collapsed, leading to a sudden flash flood. And you have seen the footages of the kind of destruction. So, what is this glacial collapse? Or what is this cloud burst? Why does that happen? Can it be predicted? All these things become the next question and also becomes a part of preparation. That disaster management, and the disaster management, what is the pre-disaster activity, what is the during disaster activity, and what is the post-disaster. Like, yes, what I'm trying to tell you here is how the current affair also becomes a part of learning and syllabus. And this is not, don't take it as a bookish learning, but consider it as preparing for living in this world. And bureaucrats or as a public servant, that is what the purpose says, nation building or serving the nation or sorry, serving the people. That's what. So I mentioned you that, and while we prepare in our journey, wants to be a part of my uh, program, any of the program or daily email program and daily weekly, you'll realize that slowly, every skill set which you need for this UPSC preparation you are doing. ऐसा तो मैं नहीं कह सकता कि एक मॉड्यूल है और immediately you do it and at the end of it you learn. Because if there would have been such kind of thing, the way all of us imagine that yeah, I study for class 6, give the exam and I'm passed class 6. That means I will always consider a qualified class 6. Similarly for class 7. So there will be one course, I will complete the course and then everything is done. For this particular exam, this is not bad. Rest, I can say for other exams, you're learning any technical skill, you're learning any skill set, you're learning any certification. You complete it, then you're eligible, you have that. But here in this particular exam, we need to have multiple skills. And that's the reason why it takes time. क्योंकि हमने ऐसा कभी किया नहीं है in our regular college life or in regular school life or in regular day to day. यहाँ पे we have to have multiple aspects of skilling, thinking, writing, understanding, and managing our own knowledge. Uh, you know how much we are understanding because there is no end to it, but we have to put a bracket. Okay. For example, when I tell you a very simple example, I'll give an example of this UPSC interview room. Somebody, a candidate comes from Assam, a candidate comes from Kerala. Okay. Both of them have been preparing for UPSC and this exam and all that. Okay. They're in the interview stage. In interview, who in the interview board, the moment the board comes to know that candidate A has come from Assam, what is the first common thing they will do? They'll try to make him comfortable by asking questions about Assam because it is commonly understood that this person belongs to Assam. So he will be able to talk about Assam and its geography, its history, its economy, and everything for that matter. We'll have a rough idea at least. And same with the person who's coming from Kerala. But he is not expected to know about the entire India, every state. What is his minimal expectation? That when he is from that particular state or city, he is at least aware about what is happening around him or her. What is happening around the world today? You don't have to go to every country and ask what is happening in your country, that country, this country. No. You see the titles, you see the news headlines. You see that, okay, this is what is happening. American policies of tariff has been impacting the world globally. There has been uh, such an invasion in Iran, and there are things like this which is happening in Australia, and then there are stories of various uh, challenges in South China Sea and conflicts in this part of the region, that part of the region. So these are certain things you come to know, and you really make it as a knowledge. Yeah, okay, now I'm aware about the world. So when they ask you, okay, what is happening? What is Middle East crisis? What is Palestine crisis? What is your awareness? These crises have been even before you were born, I was born, and anybody in the last 20 years or more. But they have been continuing. The war of religion has been continuing. So it has so much of background and root of knowledge to it. It is not even possible to go each episode and understand many times. So as a gist, we understand. Okay, this is what is happening. This is the problem of Israel versus other nations, Muslim nations, or this is the problem of uh, conflict region of India and other neighboring nations, or this is the problem of in the American or South American region, like that. So everything will have some story. Slowly, you come to know. And so the day you know, that becomes your awareness day, and that day becomes your knowledge. You can speak about it. You can understand about it. So that's how we define. what is becoming relevant for your exam and what is relevant for you as a aspirant to consider कि इतना मुझे पढ़ना है. I have given certain for today's session. I thought I'll give you a little headline to how to see what is the syllabus and what is, like we have been talking about in the previous series on the Wednesday week. Thursday I was talking that when you start, सबसे पहले what you do is you check your syllabus, and then second what you do is go to the previous year question and see what kind of questions are asked, whether you are able to answer anything or तो समझ में भी आ रहा है कि. And number three is you are able, then you have to see that from the syllabus what you are able to understand. So this is today we are talking about that. So here you see that I have tried to create a connection between what is written in the syllabus and what is happening currently in the world. So there are certain things happening between, if you open up the newspaper or if you open up any news portal, you will see that there has been India-China boundary talks speaking. And why it comes, if it comes India and its neighborhood is a part of, or bilateral relations is a part of GS2. And then border management and internal and external security, part of GS3. In essay, you can mention all these activities. Then there are certain data points coming on the GDP growth, which is a strong part of economy. You need to understand. You just don't remember the number. ऐसे नहीं आते रहेंगे 7%, 4% now. What is the content? What is the context? How does the GDP is calculated? What has been the trend? Why it is in the news? What are the factors affecting it? All those kind of becomes immediately area of knowledge which as a UPSC aspirant you should be aware and talk about, discuss about. Similarly, yeah, this is about the Gurgaon rains happened and lot of reels have been shown that how Gurgaon is affected by rain and the urban flooding and all. And this yes, Nepal, Tibet. So I am not giving much time on this because just to share you this that we will get all this skill. The moment this is not on the in the program in the foundation program, I will be having giving you all this knowledge of question. कैसे करंट अफेयर का नोट बनाए, कैसे इसको सिलेबस से जोड़े. हर दिन आपको थोड़ी बहुत मेहनत करना पड़ेगा एंड एवरी डे इंच बाय इंच वी ग्रो. Guys, are a context we do not know today. Slowly, slowly, when we know the context, when we understand what is the first level of knowledge I should be aware, what is the second level of knowledge I should be aware, like that, then you slowly, slowly will be able to make it a depth of your understanding will happen. So there are a few topics which were there. So I have also created a filter. So you can take a screenshot of this. uh, if you want. ये कैसे पता करें कि हमारे लिए ये रिलेवेंट है कि नहीं, ये क्वेश्चन और ये करंट अफेयर है, ये जो भी नहीं. तो नंबर वन इज यू शुड बी अवेयर अबाउट द सिलेबस. तो देखो कि कौन से सिलेबस को ये कनेक्ट करता है. सेकंड इज देयर स्टैटिक कॉन्सेप्ट, कुछ इसमें कॉन्सेप्चुअल है विच यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, हिस्टोरिकल या कुछ इसका कॉन्सेप्ट है. थर्ड इज डज इट हैव एनी यूजफुल एग्जांपल डेटा पॉइंट है, केस स्टडी है, something very illustrative. Then fourth is you question. Once you read this thing, you realize क्या ऐसा question पूछ सकता है. Why, how, critically examine. Is it something where people can have multiple opinion and challenging questions. Be critical about it. उसके बारे में वो टिप्पणी कर सकते हैं कि और they can be for it or against it or examine in detail with example, elaborate it. ऐसा कुछ चीज है. और अगर इसको जानने के लिए मुझे रिवीजन करने की जरूरत पड़ेगी कोई कॉन्टेक्स्ट, इफ दीज आर द प्लेसेस वेयर यू फील दैट इस एरिया में आ रहा है, तो देन वो टॉपिक यूपीएससी सेंट्रिक है. So before I move forward, and if there are few questions or anybody wants to ask any question, you can put it in the chat and take a 2 minute break. Okay. Now, before I also while I take a break, I also want to have a little bit of conversation with you on my observation of today's experience. See, yes, your access to information is very good. with Telegram and with other portals. There is a huge amount of information which is available for free. Okay, and yes, many of them would be definitely relevant, and many of them would be very very repetitive. But my question is like what we are doing when my like for the last 2 3 months or whatever I've had a conversation counseling session with students. I have realized that they feel that there will be some package of book or some folder of some 10 GB, 2 GB of data of preparation content with video content and lecture from top institute and things like that. That will be they will put it in your system, and that is once they access it, that means they will prepare and everything. That is what is meant as preparation, collecting of information first and especially from data from Telegram and things like that. My only submission over here is, I have no problem with data because क्या होता है कि although nobody can vet it कितना सही है कितना गलत है, but not everything is required, not everything is suitable to everybody, not everything is or not every advice, not tips or anything is applicable to all. Okay, people who are giving this exam for the first time, they have to go all out. सब कुछ करना पड़ेगा, सब कुछ, no concession. They have to do everything. They don't have any choice. They have taken this decision, so everything which is possible around it, they have to. People who are repeaters, they have given the prelims once, twice, thrice, four times, five times. Maybe the open category will be giving you the last time. However it is, if you have cleared the prelims or if you have not cleared the prelims or if you have not been able to understand what is prelims pattern, what is the UPSC pattern, first and foremost, you need to consider yourself an examiner and understand what is the UPSC pattern and what mistakes are you doing. Imagine because the exam duration is such like 13 months का cycle है, you forget कि मैंने गलती क्या हुई थी. And because we are dealing with knowledge, we are not humble enough to agree कि मुझे नहीं आता. Imagine 3 attempts were given and somebody asks you, do you know this? Can you say, no, I don't know? Because 3 years you have given, and how can you say that I don't know? You say, I know, people, I know. Somewhere the fake confidence given to having belief, having is a different thing, okay? Having belief in oneself. But giving a fake confidence, okay? Giving a fake confidence, negating the reality. If you do not know, accept I do not know, I need to learn. That is more positive than saying that I know and imagining that India आ जाएगा. कैसा आ जाएगा? So I have my mentoring has been mostly to especially all the repeaters. I do this session where we analyze your prelims attempt and figure out what exactly, where did you go wrong? Was it the recall factor, revision factor, blackout ho gaya, whatever. It can be anything. It can be serious something. I was feeling thirsty, I was not well, anything it can be. But why did you not meet that qualification barrier? Why couldn't you do it? Until unless you don't have one, two, three reason in your hand, you will not know what to improve upon. You will do the same mistake, same preparation, same book, same strategy, same result. So that loop will continue, and half of the people talk about this UPSC loop, they cannot exit. And the life has, life is always a good burden, and as you grow older and older, this UPSC loop becomes more challenging. Unclear of path, क्या करना है आगे, career wise confusion, यूपीएससी भी क्लियर नहीं हो रहा, स्टेट एग्जाम क्लियर हो रहा है, ज्वाइन नहीं कर पा रही क्योंकि यूपीएससी एग्जाम देना है, या फिर स्टेट एग्जाम भी नहीं क्लियर हो रहा, प्राइवेट सेक्टर में जाना है कि नहीं जाना है, एमबीए करूँ कि नहीं करूँ, कि एमबीए भी कर लिया उसके बाद फिर क्या करूँ, जॉब छोड़ के बैठा हूँ. मेरे फ्रेंड्स बाहर चले गए हैं भाई, फॉरेन ट्रिप कर रहे हैं, किसने बड़ा कैमरा खरीद लिया है, किसने बड़ा फोन खरीद लिया है, किसने बड़ा गाड़ी खरीद लिया है, कोई मैरिज कर रहा है, मेरा पहला पैसा शादी हो गया है. क्या क्या होगा इस जर्नी में? Everybody will have their different way or which the life will go. But why I'm saying with all this thing is that until unless you do not strategize very clearly in your preparation, and that is the difference I want to bring when I say that self-study to mentors. Okay, that's the reason. Because if we focus, if you, what happens is Once you know this art of knowing that क्या पढ़ना है क्या नहीं पढ़ना है, it is very clear. Learning what not to read is the biggest skill required in this exam. Because यहाँ ज्ञान तो बहुत मिलेगा. If you open up any channel, you'll find many people like us who have given this exam, who have qualified, who have done in service. Many people, and everybody will be talking sense only. But how much of you it is valid for you is depends upon you only. For example, I always say this, you, for example, you love Chinese food, but you love Chinese food of the Uncle Chinese restaurant, but you do not like Chinese of hot China or China bowl or something like that. But they are also serving Chinese food. Your likingness does not make them stop serving Chinese food. But if you want to enjoy Chinese food, then you want to go to Uncle. Similarly, here knowledge is available by many people. Which person or which mentor or what, or if you are looking for something, what suits you, you need to know it by. For somebody, I may be useful. For somebody, my voice is making them induce sleep. Maybe it's not useful. So one has to agree to all this. But before going all that, creating a system for yourself, creating a process of preparation, that is very important, and that is exactly my objective. The one thing I want to give is this: that how do you create a system for your own self and your own preparation? Once you define a process for yourself, every 24 hours, you know what things have to happen, how things will go. If it is January, what has to be done. If it is February, what has to be done. If it is March, what has to be done. If it is April, every month, what kind of reading, what kind of preparation, which kind of exams will be there, how will you manage revision, how will you manage completion, how will you manage after the exam, because it does not end with the exam till the time you do not see your name in the final list. It does not end over there. So that's the reason UPSC has so many layers of examination, and your heartbeat always goes up and down. You're always nervous. क्या पता क्या होगा आगे. That state of mind, that confusion will always stay. So that is where I feel UPSC is much more challenging than any other exam. So I mentioned that we have been talking of now coming back to today's session, and how do somebody start who wants to start from scratch. सबसे पहले please understand the exam pattern, that this is a three-stage examination, and it has you have to take one optional subject. The main examination marks which is calculated for coming in the final list is based on the 9 exam papers plus the interview exam, and the 9 exam paper are pen and paper based, still the old pattern. Wherein to write the mains examination, you need to qualify prelims examination, which is the most toughest filtration stage with a pass percentage of less than 1%. So that is where the challenge happens. But that does not mean that it is not possible to clear this exam, because there is a definite range of preparation, there is a definite strategy in which once you are above that threshold, you see the likelihood of your name coming is always there. So once you do your understand the examination, then you have your syllabus in your hand, you understand the syllabus multiple times. Most of the time, I consider this is talking about India and what is happening around India. You define India in its history, its geography, its economy, its society, its governance and polity, its science and technology. And by the way, I also have a learning series of knowing India, know your country, which is absolutely free for you to register and start off with. And just before you even start taking the for exam or GS or anything, like normal school student or anybody, especially I thought of doing this from this Independence Day, that you register for that. You can see in my website also, in the WhatsApp message also. So you for 7 days you will have a process of learning and examination. A bit of testing, and that is how I built my daily foundation routine also. So you can check whether you can learn through such daily email process. Can it help you to, can you process your preparation like that? So that way, इंडिया के बारे में आप कितना जानते हैं वो भी आप कर सकते हैं. So mostly the syllabus is all about that, because that is the country आपको संभालना. Then the third stage is to download previous year question. Do you want to buy books? This, that. So many people will say so many things. But let me tell you, all the information is available in UPSC's government website, and downloading of previous year data is free. Nobody should charge money to, give you old question paper. And if you can little bit, if you are aware and so do the Google search from 2014 onwards, you can get this new pattern which is going on. So from 2014 onwards till 2026, all the question paper you can get. People like me or many multiple institutes have also in their website put such things. Okay. But I would tell you that rather you go from other routes, this, that, you go to the website of UPSC and download it from home. If you don't find some paper, if there's some challenge is there, you can then ask us, ask me or go to any of the portal of any of the prominent top, uh, they all have previous year questions. Then, उसके बाद आता है, how do we start? We start with NCRT as a foundation. Why NCRT? Because NCRT was a school books designed to make you understand about India from class 6th onwards. Various aspects of India. I told you the economy of India, the geography of India, the history of India, the sociology of India, the political science or polity of India, or governance of India, and then or civics that was considered that time. Or I would say that every aspect of India the school teaches in class 10th, and in class 10th you have all these skills of about a little bit of India, a little bit of world, and then mathematical skills. And then from class 10th onwards, you choose the stream of area or subject you want to prepare. You may take arts, you may take humanities, you may take commerce, you may take science, and your 11th class is defined. Okay, and then you're obviously graduating. So, but here we'll go till prominating more till 10th class of syllabus. And although because UPSC has the level of masters, so we do learn from NCRT of 11th and 12th class. And then, once you do that, then every day reading newspaper is a good habit. If you don't have that habit, every day scrolling news in some NDTV or some website or All India Radio website or some DD News, that is also a good habit. If that is also not possible, at least some monthly magazine, some Telegram channel who is giving you summarizing anything. Although I am not giving it, but there are people who are doing it. So you see that if that helps you. Some or other what is happening in the world, वो तो पता कर क्या चल रहा है trend, what is the top news of this week, this month. That is what kind of awareness about it is must. And then all this knowledge has to be tested. Prelims के लिए MCQ testing, mains के लिए answer writing testing, and essay के लिए full essay writing, or interview के लिए personality test. So whichever says whatever you prepare, you need to keep on testing and know your flaw and improve upon it. ये cycle चलता ही रहेगा. So this is what is the most pattern, minimum pattern of this thing. I'm sure मैंने पहले बोल दिया एग्जाम के बारे में, the structure of exam, and I'm sure you must be aware that अभी mains 2026 चल रहा है. The uh, अभी optional paper or this weekend it's the optional paper and other compulsory paper. But otherwise, GS paper, all the four papers plus essay paper have been complete. In fact, I've also uploaded the analysis from my side in the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. If somebody is following, like preparing for this exam already prepared, they would find those analysis sensible. Now, okay, fine. So I have got a question from asking from my student who is alive in the session that how to choose optional. Okay. Uh, Let me tell you in two, three manner we will understand uh, optional. Okay. Just don't see the slide for now. You kind of listen to me. Just number one is if you are a say how people do it and really how people do it first before I tell you how you define for yourself. Firstly, people see that on which optional has the maximum, uh, you know, coherence, or they, if I prepare for optional, my GS is also prepared. Which syllables are kind of intermingling like that. So the first two, three kind of options are there where there is a mixing of GS and uh, option. One is political science and international relations because your governance, polity, constitutional, international relation, all these things are already there in GS also. So this is one of the top favorite options these days, last 2 3 years. Second is geography again because of knowledge is kind of very similar and in when it comes to option you have to know the people who have created the geography or the theorists or the thinkers, but otherwise having the knowledge about it is also GS and it's kind of almost common this thing. Yeah, okay. Third is public administration because again quality and constitution and things like that. Fourth is mathematics. Now this is I'm telling from annual report of UPSC. What are the top মানে options? Mathematics because many people graduate in mathematics, so they try to stick to remain in their domain of knowledge, and especially BSc student and engineering student, they focus on mathematics. Then comes sociology. Again, one of the reasons why various engineers and other kind of non-humanity student take sociology is because it's understanding, knowing the world around and the human this thing. Anthropology again is also under similar lines. Especially people who are preparing in Hyderabad, anthropology is kind of pushed to them. It's a short syllabus, it's easy to understand, and very good faculty and very good content is available like that. Okay, and then comes uh, psychology again because one of the most common when the people who do the graduation in psychology they they also appear for UPSC those were better. Then comes did I mention history? History has to be also there again because maximum lot of the graduates people are history, general graduates. Then commerce and then rest other this. My way of looking at is pehla your love for the subject because it is optional means you need to have why did you choose it? There has to be certain kind of curiosity, not just by books, but also by interest. If you are curious enough to know more, you can apart from your timetable, you want to learn more, you'll Google it more, you'll understand it better, go a little beyond books. That is that kind of interest you have, and maybe why that may be the reason why you would have taken it in your graduation also. So one of the reason is to choose by that. Number two is access to correct content because it is about exam and writing good, getting good marks in the exam. It is not just about your knowledge or love for it, love for subject because it is यहाँ पे तो academic gold medal नहीं मिलने वाला ना. It is about how much marks you can score or better you can write. So you need to have the access to such good content. So that becomes the second priority. Content should be available. Your curiosity and interest and content should be available. Third is good guidance. Guidance definitely, if you're not able to afford, that means I'm not saying that you cannot watch free videos. You can. There's so many. Everything is available in YouTube. Actually, very. If you search, everything is available. So I'm not telling you to join any coaching aspect because I also believe in self-study. But multiple times, especially in optional, you need somebody to put you in the track of only UPSC. Because again, I told you the objective is to score mark and get into in the final list. The objective is not to become a very good learner who have a gold medal and kind of a PhD. Not that is not the thing. That's the reason to stay UPSC centric. You need to have some guide, some mentor who just tells you this is the exam you're preparing for, and that performance only matters, not your love, not your PhD kind of a outlook to this particular. So these are few things on which you can decide your this thing. If you don't have access to content, just as a emotionally नहीं करनी किसी because it is very difficult. You need to have good content. You need to content अलग अलग पढ़ना पड़ेगा. Everybody will write and they will say my book has everything. Everybody will claim it, but ऐसा होता नहीं. Everything is for for individual it is different. So that's one of them. So I think that's what I can say. Okay, if you have doubt for whether you want to take optional, so I am going to start for 1 month geography optional foundation course. Okay, you can be a part of it. This Saturday onwards, this Sunday onwards is the first session. Okay, and September month I will do it. So at the end of at the end of the 4 weeks, one thing is going to be happening that you will know whether you want to go with this optional or not. First and foremost, imagine you go with it. Definitely, then learning about optional and running an optional, that is my intention. My first foundation back online is what I'm thinking. If I'm able to have that kind of strength of people. Second is if you imagine that you did not like geography, then you have all the reasons that whatever you learn in geography is enough for you also to prepare. Parallelly, your GS is also kind of prepared. Your basics are clear. Foundation course, 2 months, 1 month, 1 week. It gives you clarity on all the topics that this subject considers. So you have a clarity on the GS. Neither the money is gone waste, neither your 12 weeks of session which you attend in the September month goes. So that helps with clarity whether you want to take this option or not. So that stays always. Once you know have taken an action and the reason why you have taken an option, you have that kind of conviction. So that's what I would say. And definitely, like in every school or every college, every teacher comes and says, "My subject is the only subject you should know. That is the best in the world." Then I will also say like that. Geography is the only subject you should know. Well, that is tells you what is the world all about. I can see, I can sense, and all my five senses work when it is about geography. So that's the reason why geography makes very much important in life for everybody. And we need to know about it, and that's how the curiosity comes. People love travel, people love food, people love culture, everything is geography. So that's what. So I moving forward, coming back to, I hope I've been able to answer your question. If you think I've been able to give your answer, Latisha, please give me a go ahead so that I can move to the continuing task session. Just give me a heads up so that at least I can understand whether I could help you with answer or not, or I kept you confused only. So I hope I did not keep that. You can take an action after this, and do let me know what is your option. Okay? Every in this exam, every one, all the toppers will say that you have to write answers and all from day one. Okay, I can understand. If you have the knowledge, do definitely write answers. But if you don't have the knowledge, at least take 30 days to first initially warm up and then. But you should write. I must consider. I must tell you this. Writing is very very critical, and the same thing applies for optional because it is not just about knowing the syllabus or curiosity or seeing through the question papers and feeling I can do it. When you don't, until unless you don't write it, you will not be able to, understand whether in that particular 3 hours of exam, will I be able to complete all the five questions, section A, section B, at the best level to get the highest mark. That should be the approach. So I have got a go ahead from uh, my student here that I can move to the next part of the session. So all the people who are again I said that अभी zero से start किया है. See, you have to create a system, and how does that system happen? That the first week, if you want to design or your syllabus, previous year question, exam pattern, you first collect that, read about that, have a knowledge about that. If you are, I don't know whether you have started using AI tools or not, but there is a tool called Notebook LLM by Google. Okay, so it is a very good tool where you can upload your PDFs and then you can ask the Notebook LLM. It will have an audio summary to it. It will give a video summary to it. It will give you, interact with you, saying that okay, what do you want to understand? Ask me question. So I will say download the notice from UPSC website, put it in that, put previous year questions, question paper in that, put the syllabus in that, and then start interacting. But honestly, old pattern is to read everything. If you can do that, fantastic. But if you want to interact and engage, I'm telling you a tool also. ऐसा must नहीं है, but just to create a creativity in learning. But yes, do have some, put your eyes and brain some stress in knowing the syllabus and PYQs and exam pattern. Then NCRT and iOS. Now this my entire GS foundation is built in that, so मैं वही promote कर रहा हूँ. तो पहला फर्स्ट 6 मंथ अच्छी तरीके से एनसीईआरटी कुछ मैंने ऑल क्लास 6 ऑनवर्ड्स से क्लास 12 तक सम 45 46 बुक्स हैं छोटे छोटे बुक्स है स्कूल उस टाइम पे वो स्कूल के बुक्स कहलाते थे फॉर यू नाउ यू कैन एक्चुअली डू इट इन 2 मंथ्स ऐसा कोई बड़ा चीज नहीं है बट है द बुक्स बट स्टिल विद हाउ मच ओपन माइंड यू विल डू इज बेटर प्रैक्टिस करते हुए तो वी गिव इट अ गुड टाइम बट इससे बड़ा बेस स्ट्रांग होता है व्हाट इज दिस टॉपिक क्या एनसीईआरटी ने क्लास 6 के बच्चे को पढ़ाया 8th के लेवल में कैसे उसको बढ़ा दिया 10th में कैसे उस चीज को 10th का लेवल बनाया व्हाट डिड दे ऐड व्हाई डिड इट बिकम 11th में you're learning about water cycle the water cycle at class 6 this is introduced you observe that every year water cycle is there in entire school yeah half the science subject will have water cycle the concept of water cycle, where it is used, how it is used, how it impacts. Then the monsoon, then comes cloud formation. Like that, in subject, the utility will start increasing as you grow your grades. क्लास 6 से क्लास 7 जाओगे तो कुछ और पढ़ा रहे होंगे फिर क्लास 7 से क्लास 8 जा रहे होगे तो बताएंगे बादल कैसे बनते हैं कैसे टाइप के बादल हैं फिर क्लास 9th और 10th में जाओगे तो हाउ द थंडर स्टॉर्म हैपन सबका कोर्स नीचे से शुरू हो रहा है वाटर साइकिल के दिक्कत तो दैट्स हाउ द लेवल्स हैव इंक्रीज्ड तो वो आप अभी तो अभी ऑब्वियसली अराउंड 20 प्लस यू कैन इजीली अंडरस्टैंड तब तो आप 12-13 साल के थे एज पर द क्वेश्चंस वर प्रिपरेशन वाज मेड और बुक वाज मेड because the audience for that particular book is school student not you we are preparing to make our foundation strong so once we do that then we will look at the syllabus we look at the previous year question कहाँ से आया या तो आप ये खुद मेहनत करो ठीक है जैसे करते हैं या फिर मैंने जो फाउंडेशन प्रोग्राम बनाया यही मेहनत किया है पुटिंग यू गिविंग यू थिंग्स इन वन प्लेस दैट्स इट दैट इज द ओनली थिंग आई एम नॉट क्लेमिंग दैट कुछ है ये कुछ मैंने प्रिपेयर किया था उसका आई जस्ट गिविंग यू इन अ डेली डोज बेसिस एंड आई टेल यू व्हाई वन फिलोसॉफिकल reason is there also if you allow me I want to tell you this story I so there was a farmer who had a hen who laid golden eggs. Okay. The farmer was very poor and he used to pray to the God, please help me, help me, help me. One fine day he wakes up and he finds that there is a hen who lays a golden egg. So what happens is every day the hen would lay one golden egg. The farmer would take that egg, go to the market and sell off. And slowly, slowly, every day this thing continued to happen. And what the problem, what happened was slowly the farmer became greedy. One day the farmer's wife says, what are you doing here? Every day you're going for one egg to market and this is still what we will continue this thing. Do one thing. Just tear the stomach of the hen and get all the eggs out. So that we will do it forever one time. We will become rich and live life luxuriously. Farmer thought, wow, what a fantastic idea. So what he did was he killed or he kind of opened up the stomach of the golden egg laying hen. Finished. From that day, neither there was any egg, neither any hen. And then by the time he realized what mistake he has done, life again brought upon bad luck or whatever the stage he was. So I felt that when we buy books, when I was in school, I wanted to prepare for IIT. So the first day I went to the store and you buy this couple of books are there like H.C. Verma and then in Rustic Holiday for physics, H.C. Verma for physics, and then for Sharma for mathematics and things like that. When I brought the book, I felt, my God, अब तो मेरा IIT हो गया. I never studied it with it. I did not open the book. It is as new as possible. कहाँ होगा IIT? पढ़ना पड़ेगा ना हर दिन. Then I thought ये सबका साथ होता होगा. जैसे हम बुक खरीद लेते हैं, हमको लगता है भाई हो गया हमारी पढ़ाई. So what I should do rather than giving information जो कि टेलीग्राम में है, overload of information, I should distribute it like that every day इतना पढ़ो. You might study for 7 hours, but I will give you only 1 hour content. Every day consistent 1 hour पढ़ना ही है. तो जितना मैं दे रहा हूँ करते जाओ. 400 days में, because 13 months is takes for foundation in uni coaching institute also. So in 400 days you will complete your foundation program. You will become what it needs for UPSC, and then you will have the pro element of preparedness. So that is the why I designed, and this is what is the beginner's plan. But people who have already taken coaching, who have already taken, this thing, obviously, first and foremost thing, find your faults. Once you know your faults, then only start creating your action and strategy plan. And that is why I say that let's do the prelims workshop with me and find your faults, submit the workshop sheet to me. We will have a strategy for you where while you continue the foundation plan studying, but you will have your daily routine differently designed. तो जो गलती है उसको हमें सुधारना है, क्या कमी रह गई उसमें सुधार करना है. लहरों से डरते नौका पार नहीं होती, कुछ किए बिना जय जयकार नहीं होती. क्या कमी रह गई संघर्ष का रोड मत त्यागो तुम, क्या कमी रह गई उसे ढूंढो और फिर उससे you work on that. If you remember that poem. So these are few things to keep you motivated, but that is how you should do. So audit your weakness, then you analyze where did you go wrong, क्या आपका weakness है, strength है, what is your better part, good part, how do we make your best level, best versions out of जो भी आपका ये है. Then revision frequency, what kind of notes you are पढ़ रहे थे किस चीज से, लिखाई था कि खाली imagination में preparation कर रहे थे. So all these things will what a repeater के लिए we will design, and definitely you will see the improvement and result में you will see the thing. People who are preparing for 2027, 2028, 2029, little bit of change in orientation will happen because I'm sure people who are preparing for 2028, 2029, 2030 are still in college, or they have to manage their college life also and do this preparation. So they will have a different aptitude of preparation. And people who are preparing for 2027, maybe 2028, उन्होंने college अभी खत्म किया होगा and they will graduate. For 2027, 23 May 2027 is the examination for prelims, and I'm sure 20 August 2027 is the mains exam. This is the date already published in the calendar of UPSC. So when you know that are the deadline dates, then you can design your preparation program, कब कितना क्या पढ़ना है, and then you should be able to manage it. And that is what we can track, and that is what we can prepare towards. अभी तक अगर आपका फाउंडेशन प्रोग्राम हुआ नहीं है तो आई वुड से फोकस ऑन क्लियरिंग कंप्लीटिंग दैट फर्स्ट, एंड देन फॉर जैसे रिवर्स इंजीनियरिंग क्वेश्चन से पढ़ना, पहले क्वेश्चन करना फिर उससे पढ़ना, लाइक दैट. दैट वे यू विल नो दैट ये क्या मैं सब किया, मुझे क्या याद नहीं आ रहा है, कौन सा एरिया पूछ रहा है, एंड यू फोकस व्हेन यू प्रिपेयरिंग. So this brings to my solution of all the questions that how do we start, how do we become systematic. My only first and foremost solution is this, that you have to join my daily email program of 400 day GS Foundation. Every day you get a email saying आज क्या पढ़ना है. You will get a video lesson about that topic. You will get a chapter of that topic, original source if it is NCERT or public source. Then you will get notes from me. But the notes you have to write down in your answer. I mean, a book. Maintain a handwritten notes that I would always say, and so that you can create your revision framework. And then you get revision MCQ to prepare, and it will be in both English and Hindi medium both. Okay. And then हर दिन का अलग अलग सब्जेक्ट मतलब अलग अलग अप्रोच होगा. We start with NCERT school level wise, and then every month you will have a full test paper to prelims का CSAT का पूरा ही होगा. While I understand that वी फील कि हमको सी सैट को एबीसीडी से पढ़ाओ, व्हाट इज नंबर से पढ़ना शुरू करेंगे, बट ऐसा नहीं करेंगे, हम सीधा एग्जाम नहीं कूदेंगे. We learn from exam through CSAT because I think CSAT is the biggest disappointer of the entire preparation. लोग तैयारी तो कर रहे हैं बहुत अच्छी तरीके से, बाकी सब पेपर का सब्जेक्ट है, बट एक क्वालिफाइंग पेपर में ही चैलेंज में डूब जाए. एंड व्हाट इज डेली मेल से, बेसिकली डेली मेल ये है कि टू मेक यू फील कंसिस्टेंट. आप अपना मेल आपके पास रहेगा, आप जब आपके पास दिन में टाइम है, आप एक्सेस करोगे, खुद खोलोगे और खुद पढ़ोगे. मैं टाइम नहीं बाउंड कर रहा, मैं आपको खाली डेली मेल दे रहा हूँ. ऐसा हो भी सकता है कि बिकॉज ऑफ लाइफ एंड अदर एनी एंगेजमेंट कंटिन्यूटी फैक्टर रुक जाए, 4 दिन से मेल नहीं देखा, बट यू शुड बी एबल टू स्टिल go back and continue your preparation where you left off. You should be able to know that. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि और एक ही घंटा में, आई 1 से 1.5 घंटा मैक्सिमम आस्क है पढ़ने का डेली, बट यू हैव टू स्टे मोटिवेटेड. मैं बिकॉज इट इज a सेल्फ स्टडी मॉड्यूल, इट इज नॉट ए मॉड्यूल जहाँ पे कोचिंग में आप जा रहे हो, 6 बजे की क्लास है, नहीं पहुंचे तो भाई मिस हो गई क्लास. ऐसा नहीं है. टेक्नोलॉजी यूज करके आपको सहूलियत है, यू डोंट फील दोज थिंग, बट बिकॉज ये आपका खुद का सपना है, इट इज योर ओन गोल, यू आर चेजिंग योर ओन ड्रीम टू बिकम अ सिविल सर्वेंट, you have to create a system for you. You have to sacrifice many things. You have to miss on movies, you have to miss on birthdays, miss on many other things where, because we have those 24 hours only. That 24 hours आप कहाँ इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, उसका रिटर्न वैसे ही नहीं है. If you invest in enjoying, then you stay enjoyable, bilkul fantastic. But if you invest your time in studying and particularly preparing for this, then on the final mark sheet you will get them, the returns. तो ऐसा बिल्कुल है, जो कर्मा वर्मा सब सब वैलिड है इन प्रिपरेशन में. इस 13 14 15 months में if you are preparing and giving one attempt also, you will know about yourself. खुद का ही खुद का वेटेज खुद को, your own self journey starts knowing yourself, your capabilities, what you speak and what you can do actually, what is your limitation, what is human limitation for you, how sometimes you also imagine that you cannot do it but you have already done it. All that, whatever you have studied, if you have read in your school time, if you have read Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's book Wings of Fire, you will see you're changing yourself into that. ये मैं लिख के दे सकता हूँ, अगर आप कंसिस्टेंट और डिसिप्लिन बनेंगे. तो जीएस फाउंडेशन इज दैट, एंड इट इज अ फ्री कोर्स. ओके, ऐसा मेरे को पैसा नहीं बनाना, बट आई एम चार्जिंग 90 rupees फॉर दी platform. That it is first time when you enable 90 rupees I'm going to charge, and then only it starts. And you can see in my website that you have to tick mark and choose that, and then only it starts. Don't ask me why 90 and all that, because definitely, even if I want to make it affordable, I did it last 2 years before April 21. It was all free. uh, I, but then people misutilize it. Value to करते नहीं कोई, misutilize it. So I got lot of random emails, lot of bot attacks, so many things happened, and uh, my server was blacklisted. So I could not continue. तो जो बच्चे एग्जाम दे रहे थे उनके लिए मेल स्टॉप हो गया. In fact, for many people, mails are still stopped. अभी भी नहीं चल रहा. So I went through a lot of losses, and then the solution came from that you put a payment barrier, because these payment gateways will stop bot attack and things like that. But if you can't afford 90 rupees, then what I do can say is, I told you this weekly sessions are open for you to come and and definitely stay motivated. That's what I can say. I can give you structure. Okay, okay. But otherwise, yes, definitely the platform fees is this. And I definitely, there are other workshops are there, which is like the Prelims workshop. And once you give you this, once you access, you will become a part of, take the benefit of that also. So, but that doesn't mean your courses me or paise there are other courses which is there, and even there are personal mentorship is also there. But unless I don't see you consistent, I don't see your track performance consistent, I will not allow individual this thing, because it is not about money, but it is also respect of mutual time, and it is a very limited circle which is humanly possible to focus on. And I am the only mentor over here. This is my initiative. There's no other team or thing. So that's why you need to. Yes, you're open to ask questions, and one-on-one session is fine. But being the part of my mentorship program, you have to prove your worth for that. So that's one thing. So few things I would like you to take away from today's session, that do not overload yourself with lot of information. किताब खरीदने मत भाग जाओ. And do not go for एक subject एक तरीके से complete करो. Even if you are looking for many faculties, many teachers, YouTube trainers, पहले complete करो, and then you see the value add from other people. Write well, write your notes, but don't इतना colorful note. जो भी करो write, writing is very important. Then whenever you read any kind of affair, you just check the syllabus linkage. Syllabus should be remembered to you. You should be able to know which point what syllabus is there. It should be so much in your mind. So is that. And then like school में होता था कि भाई जब तक टीचर पढ़ाएगा नहीं तो हम कैसे पढ़ेंगे. Don't go by that approach. No, don't wait for something to happen. Then you just, because all of these things you are aware. I told you it is all about India and about public services. So you सब आपको पता है. You just have to go and take the attempt. So go beyond whatever you imagine and thought. So I have this thing that people who have आज का session जिन्होंने भी attend किया और watch the video on YouTube, these are some 7 days task. That first of all is, yeah, you can be a part of the India learning that I mentioned. If you are paying for 90 rupees, then yes, for the GS Foundation plan. But otherwise, you can start with day one of downloading the syllabus on the UPSC website. Then the previous year questions from UPSC website again. Then create what you have to prepare on day three. You find your courses from particular subject syllabus. कहाँ से पढ़ेंगे? Create folders for it. Then start your foundation plan. Day 5 chapters of NCRT. And then wherever you study something, you see you can also figure out where to find the previous year question and study question आएगी on that topic. So that you, while you complete the topic, you also know that you are revising for becoming exam ready. So that's how you can prepare your 7 day system. It is about revision is the key to success. So it is learn, revise, test, improve, repeat. So this is something what we are going to do. Content overload is not the picture. Picture is about learning, revision, test. I told you about 90 days, 90 rupees, and with that, it is the platform. It is not the course fee. The course is free, and it's 90 rupees is like the foundation for program. Yes, the weekly access is there for first day, and then for all of you who do that, become Elevate IAS student. And all the specialized workshops which I have four kind of workshops which I have: prelims analysis, get mains ready, and essay workshop, then personality test. This happens, and these are scheduled. You get whenever whatever is scheduled, you get information about it. People who are not part of anything, they have to do workshop. I charge 200, and you get other syllabus. That's it. That's it for today. This is about geography optional. That the program, the foundation program I spoke to you about. That first session is on 30th August, this Sunday, evening 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then I told you about the India series, which you can be a part of it. The link is there in your WhatsApp also. You would have received it, or you go to the website elevators.com. You'll see it. For GS Foundation program, we are doing first the foundation program because I told you this is going to be my first batch. So I want to make the batch. I want to first have people who understand geography and choose that as an option. So the foundation program will be a 4 week session, 4 week program with 12 classes, and I'm going to charge for it cost 2,000 rupees plus GST and full geography optional plus main set series for geography. It's a 6 month course and it is going to be around 25,000. This I'm saying this is my thought right now. But until unless the batch doesn't become, I cannot say much more on the geography optional starting. But foundation program, yes. So there are a few things I told you. If you want to take an action without taking an action, nothing will change. An action has to be taken. So there are multiple things to take action. If you think you still want to, still have your question, something in your mind, and you ask me, definitely go ahead. So a few questions that I answered about how to start the strategy for the previous years, then foundation program, booklets. I spoke on the NCRT part, and when you start the program, you will get what are the toppers suggest. Okay. Then current affairs. I spoke about geography optional and how to do the optional. I spoke about the strategy, which is of revision. Then I spoke about mentorship. Today I've covered all this thing. So definitely next week also we'll talk around something like that. If you have any question and any other thoughts, please do put it in the chat or my WhatsApp. I respond to all my WhatsApp. For the time they come, I do a response. And I hope, thank you for your time. And with this, we close our today's session. Uh, so thank you very much.